What's up, guys? Welcome back to the English broadcast of the LPL. We're here for our final game of the night between Suning Gaming and Invictus Gaming. And that's right, we're going to a Game 3. Invictus Gaming currently on match point, essentially 1-1 after Suning Gaming managed to bring it back in that second game. Now, apologies, Analyst Desk, you guys were talking about the Shy coming in. He's not coming in. Duke is going to be reigning right here. You can see him on the left side of your screen right now. So, this is Invictus Gaming doubling down on their top laner.
Caps lock on, press F, pay respects for the Shy, pay respects for Invictus Gaming.
Are you calling it? Are you calling time of death right now? You're saying that Suning are going to take the 2-1? This seems like a bit of a flip from previous Roskurian.
No, I still believe that Invictus Gaming are going to win. If frankly, I believe that they should have won game number 2. Credit to Suning though, where it was due. Invictus Gaming, they set up the spike and they fumbled it, and then Suning just threw it right back even harder.
So how do Suning Gaming replicate that success from Game 2? Because you're absolutely right, it felt like that should be a game that Invictus Gaming win. We saw that massive fight in mid lane and it just all went wrong, and then it was a push into a win. But also, Suning set themselves up to the point where they had the tools where if a throw happened, they had both hands in the air ready to receive.
They just need to make sure that they continue along this line of versatile compositions. Yes, it was a gold funnel composition, so a lot of people will be like, but they were just relying on the gimmick of the 8-11 strategy. But they still had a lot more options. They diagnosed some of the problems that they had in terms of their 5v5, of their skirmish, of how they were playing the game, and it gave them more win conditions as opposed to the very narrow win conditions that they had in game number 1. So coming into game number 3, I like this train of thought. You know, if it's the same gold funnel strategy, go with that, do what works, do what you've practiced and you're comfortable with, but ultimately, just be able to play the lane phase. Have superior matchups on some aspects of the map. Be able to play a side lane. Be able to play the 5v5, the skirmish, because Invictus Gaming are going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at you. They have had very well-rounded compositions.
Respect as well to the mid lane of Fen. In the game 1, he went for the Gaston, his old one trick, and then in the second game immediately moves to the Braum and an adaptation, which has actually been banned in this third and final game, alongside Swain and Tarek from Invictus Gaming, so targeting Fen. On the opposite side, it will be the Zoe, the Camille, and the Lulu ban towards Invictus Gaming, with a first pick of Vladimir.
So this time around, no priority pick for the Nocturne. You can see that IG are hovering it on your screen right now. And the thing that I want to say about the Vladimir is we suspect that it'll go into Fury's hands. 9 times out of 10 in the LPL, Vladimir is finding himself into the bot lane. But I will say that for all the criticism that I've given to Fin's champion pool, one of the champions that he is also very comfortable on is the Vladimir. So that's still a true flex to 3 different positions, even with Fin in the mid lane.
Yeah, the definition of a flex pick. On the opposite side, Invictus Gaming will pick up the Nocturne, as well as the Lucian again for Jacula, feeling that even though they lost that second game, that this is something that you can give Jacula, and he can potentially run away with a game with it. On the opposite side, Suning Gaming are looking towards an Olaf, actually, here for Hacker.
Now, normally when we see the Olaf come out in the LPL, it's a lot about the gank priority on the bottom lane, which is why it needs to come in with a kill-oriented support with a lot of engage potential. So something like a Rakan or an Alistar. The reason why you would see the preference for Rakan is not only has he really just been flavor of the month because of the versatility of his ins and out in terms of that he can engage and disengage. That's sad to see, because I was also going to say Yoon is a phenomenal Rakan. He's probably our best Rakan outside of Ming that we have in the LPL.
True, and if you didn't say it, I was going to say it too, because it was also banned out in the last game for us. Invictus Gaming very much recognizing this fact that Yoon is a playmaker. Now, the other pick they also banned away from him is Tam Kench, which is still open. Mundo was the actual pick, and now Invictus Gaming, they see it, they're going to lock in the Darius.
And what's really cool is it's also still a flex pick, and it denies Aurelia. Because now Fin, there's still a lot of pressure that he can't just blind pick the Aurelia, because the Darius could be flexed into the mid lane position to just completely turn that matchup. So I really like this adaptation from IG's coaching staff to see all of the flex picks, not necessarily know where everything's going to land, and be like, it doesn't matter, like, get that away from us. We have the Darius, we have the counter to this.
And also it's the fact that Darius is still a flex pick. So Invictus Gaming, if Aurelia's not banned here, they could theoretically pick that up as well for themselves and move it to the top lane into this Mundo matchup. Rakan, as you were just saying, Frost, has been taken away now from you.
And this just showcases, like Suning knew it was going to be banned away, so this just showcases their priority in terms of their carry potential. You know, that they prioritize Xiao Al's champion with the Mundo, and Mundo itself as a pick, versus giving someone like Yoon the ability and responsibility to find these changing engagements. And I don't know if I really agree with that. I feel like Fury and Yoon have been the stable members of Suning Gaming and kind of the unsung heroes, as they often fly under the radar. And understandably so, because, I mean, it's not terrible to prioritize Xiao. He is probably going to be the next going of the LPL.
Sure. Big praise. But for sure, I agree with you. Fury and Yoon have been the silent protagonists, I would say, of Suning Gaming so far. Again, we're seeing another Taliyah ban, even though the jungle has been locked in. It's only going to be at Rookie, or technically Jackulov, but he's got the Lucian. So again, it's that fear of being like, we still respect Rookie's Taliyah.
Yeah, it's not Faker, it's Jackulov. And Rookie is the OG Taliyah player of the LPL.
Yeah.
He didn't start out nice on that champion. There was a lot of power inting, but he turned it around in true Rookie fashion.
Oh, for sure. And another pick that he's exceptionally strong with, as I stumble with my words, is Cassiopeia. And that will be another one that will be banned away by Suning Gaming here. Oh, please do it. Yes! I get my first Pyke game, and Invictus Gaming lock it into the bottom lane.
And this is going to be, I believe, the third time that Balan has taken the champion. Now, this is what I want to say about Pyke, and I've said it before. He is a win-more style of champion. In an 8-11 meta where it's all about the ability to snowball, to find these assassinations, like, theoretically, Pyke should do great. So why don't we see more of him? Well, with all of these bruisers running around, something that Pyke really struggles with is his lane phase. He is much more dependent on working with the ADC as opposed to just creating plays. You cannot put him with a weak lane phase because he himself has a weak lane phase. He's great at once a zone is established, backing it up, but he cannot create the zone for his ADC. So we see Lucian banned a lot. I think Lucian is a great ADC to pair with Pyke because you have such incredible kill pressure, but if you don't have access to these very lane-dominant ADCs, you cannot take Pyke with a passive ADC. It just won't work.
I mean, the hot pot is already spicy, and then we just locked in Irelia into Darius, and now Suning Gaming are actually looking at a potential Fiddlesticks here as well. I'm ready for the Frostgear hot take.
The hot take is that Finfin has thrown the gauntlet. He knows that, you know, I'm not going to find the outplay. But that said, he just locked in, Ryze.
Yes, he did.
We see this all the time, though. So, in the LPL, they also do believe that Ryze is a decent option into the Irelia because the idea is as she's dashing around everywhere, you have the hard CC that you can try to disrupt some of that momentum that she finds through team fights that she likes to. And it could just be, again, you know, we have Duke. He feels more comfortable. We're going to prioritize the Mundo into Darius matchup or Duke on the Darius champion. And then also maybe Rookie just feels more confident like, hey, you know, I could take the Darius and just absolutely dunk on the Irelia, but I can do okay with the Ryze, and we really want the utility that this champion's going to bring. Because the other thing that he brings is consistent hard CC.
And the other thing is, now that I'm looking at Invictus' composition, like, these are some pretty strong lanes. I mean, in the mid lane, Irelia, yeah, shocker, right? Irelia does it pretty well into Mages in general. She has an okay matchup into Ryze, but then in the top lane, this is absolutely a Darius winning matchup. You're looking at the bottom lane as well into double Mages.
I mean, the turning point for Irelia versus Ryze is going to be on first back. That one hurts. Tyr into Sheen, get ready to get blasted. So it is going to be, how does Rookie play the early lane phase with consistent CC at level, 1 through 3? Maybe Ning gets off an early cheeky gank to try to tip the balance into Rookie's favor, and then after that initial back when Irelia has, first ingredient buy, that Rookie just plays it very safe until he's tanky enough or can outmaneuver the Irelia outside of just getting blasted at level 6.
See, I'm actually feeling it from both squads though, because I'm looking at Suning Gaming right now. I like the Fiddlesticks into a melee support. I also like it, I love it actually, into the Darius and team fight. Then you look at mid lane and you've got the Irelia playing, as you said, into the Ryze. It's going to feel good, but also the pressure allowing an Olaf in. You can also move to the bottom lane, and then at the same time you look on the other side and you've got a Nocturne who might actually get outpaced.
And this is what we wanted from Suning. We wanted versatility. They have power points in the lane phase, these big windows that they could play around. They have scaling potential into a late game. They're great at a 5v5. They also have the capabilities to play side lanes. So it feels like they kept getting closer to multiple win condition avenues. And by the time game 3 rolled around, we locked it in.
Yep, we got there. And Suning Gaming have a shot at the crown right now to take out Invictus Gaming. Man, what an accolade that would be for Suning Gaming to find the kill shot onto Invictus Gaming this early on into the split. Would be amazing for them while we're still in intra-conference play. And then later we'll be moving into cross-conference play. And
the fairy tale may be coming to an end for Invictus Gaming. We might need to start rewriting the story, because to go from Super Team, one of 2 in the LPL, to dropping to Suning Gaming possibly, this isn't a good look for IG. Now, I will say that pressure is on them because, again, they have 3 best of 3s this week, including RNG. So this could also just be, if you're facing Royal, you're probably more interested or looking down the barrel at that matchup versus someone like Suning. But I have to put pressure. I have to have higher expectations.
This is a Rift Rivals team.
Going into Rift Rivals, this was supposed to be our MSI representative. If this was Royal, I'd be just harsh on them.
Sure.
And they didn't even play the Shy.
And that's the other thing, right?
And I'm just mad about it. I deserve to be mad, Pulse.
It's okay for us. Could absolutely be mad about the situation, but maybe that's it, right? Because they have 3 series this week, then they're going into next week, then it's Rift Rivals. Maybe they're saving the Shy, right? It's just like, hey, we get it. If we drop this series, not going to be big in the long run. We'll do almost an RNG where it's just like we'll dock some of our points in the early part of the split, and then we'll come in swinging at the end with the Haymaker. And that might be what they're looking towards with just saving the Shy, honestly, because we know he's in the arena. We know he could have come onto stage, but right now with all the threats that are above and in front of them, when you have RNG and Rift Rivals on the horizon, perhaps that's the mentality.
And it's just, I'm no longer taking that as an acceptable excuse for them. Be like, things will turn around once they have the Shy back. No, you've had the time with Duke now, and it's not just Duke or the Shy missing that are causing these problems. That was, you know, macro, mechanical, micro mistakes, multiple pieces breaking down, multiple people having their time in the spotlight in terms of the throw for Invictus Gaming, you know, that target selection, diving that tower, going too deep, and then throwing it all away on a game that they frankly should have won.
So just a small issue on stage, the game failed to start, which is obviously a problem if we want to play some League of Legends. So the teams are just getting back into the lobby and we're just simply going to launch again. So hope for a better result the second time around. So it should be hopefully an easy fix on this one. We're just going to have to wait just a couple minutes.
Of course, man himself, Duke Nukem on your screen chewing bubblegum. So let's hope he's all out of gum soon. I'd like to see Duke flex on some people. I'd like to see Pyke really step up. We've seen it a couple of times in the LPL. I haven't been too impressed with the champion.
Yep. Just reminded that JD took that previous game on the opposite stream over LGD, so congratulations to them. And you were talking about good old Duke Nukem in the top lane. Now he's got his bubblegum back. And I think this is Duke's special power, right? Because I remember when I was first coming back over to the LPL last year when we were in Australia, right? And he was just like, this guy in the top lane chewing bubblegum and taking names, and that's all he ever did. And he was on his gangplank pick all the time, and it was a baller. I absolutely loved it. Then he just kind of lost his spark. And he also lost his bubblegum. So now it's back, and I'm like, okay, Duke, what have you got for us? What is he able to pull up in the top lane? Because remember, he's got himself a Darius into a Mundo.
Stats aren't great, Pulse.
Huh?
If you compare Xiaoao to Duke, Xiaoao does 30%, it's technically 29.1% of his team's damage share, and his most played champion are things like Singed, Mundo, Ornn, these tank champions. Duke's damage share is 19.1. 10% difference. And his #1 played champion is Aatrox and Gangplank.
Damage top laners, yeah. Again, you know, some of his team are like also damage threats, so you're going to be pulling some of those damage numbers away, like if you're Jackie-Love. But no, I get the point that you're saying, Prask, and now is the time. It is
too big a threshold.
Now is the time for Duke to push beyond his limits and show us what he's got, because he is set up for success.
And again, I understand. Invictus Gaming's turmoil isn't only because of Duke. Everyone has had their moment. Duke is doing his job. You can go back, you can watch the tape, like, what more can this poor man do? And frankly, I don't know, and that's the problem with Invictus Gaming. I just have a lot of question marks. We keep giving them the benefit of the doubt. We keep defaulting to trust. But it feels like for me, Team W and IG, they're really on the cusp before I'm just ready to take it away.
Frost, like, bringing WE into the conversation right there, and it's actually difficult not to bring them into the conversation, because right now they are without a win in the Western Conference. And yeah, you can actually start putting Invictus Gaming in the same category if this slip continues to fall.
Especially when Rogue Warriors are doing so well. You know, we're in the race towards Worlds. We've got Rift Rivals. You'll see IG there, as well as Rogue Warriors, but Team WE and IG are not the same contenders that they once were. And maybe IG bounce back, maybe Team WE can rebuild in time, but Rogue Warriors are just full steam ahead and showing so much more versatility than both those teams.
A new era, honestly. And I think this started last split when we were, you know, rebuilding, etc. And we saw new teams really show what they were made out of, you know. And teams like Rogue Warriors, who have just kind of come out of nowhere. They're a bunch of misfits, essentially. And we called it the Revenge Tour, you know. They just went around just kicking ass and taking names. And you had someone like Joinby and SMLZ there, the dynamic duo. And it's just like, these are teams to be excited about out of the LPL. But at the same time, you have teams like Invictus Gaming. It's just like, we need those teams also step up to the plate.
And an issue is that we haven't seen a lot of IG. Again,
Yeah.
haven't played for feels like an entire week now. They've got 3 best-of-3s they're going to play this incoming week, which is essentially half their conference. Conference of 7 teams. They're playing half their games in this 1 week leading into Rift Rivals.
Good news, ladies and gentlemen. We are loading into the game, and Rookie looks happy.
He's like, yes, we're loading in.
We're getting in. Hooray.
You had a lot of time to sit down with Rookie Pulse.
I did, yeah. He is a amazing. He has amazing mentality, but also he is just as amazing as a singer. He was being interviewed the other day by Rendong on stage, and they're like, "Hey, can you sing something for us?" And it was, the guy's legit. I don't know if you remember that video. I think it was a few years back that he sang with Cool. Very, very. Damn it! I don't want to say cool in the same sentence, but it was really, really awesome. So yeah, if you haven't checked out Rookie's stream, definitely check it out. He often sings and also sings to his team on stage. He is definitely the morale, the guy holding the banner as we get into our 3rd and final game. Let's see if our crowd here can actually just a boot start this game for both teams and give them a little bit of a pep talk with this cheer. Knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, I feel like the IG guy started out a little bit wobbly and he just ramped
That
real
ramp,
hard.
dude, yeah. It was hype.
Projection.
We actually need to start putting these guys on the leaderboard because the old JD manager, he's definitely up there. He's high tier.
That guy is...
That was great.
I still think JD's got it. Oh, no. Huge credit to Yoon. We've seen a lot of fiddlesticks coming around. We've had to deal with the Dark Candy. We've had to deal with Birthday Party. Yoon knows what's up. Halloween Fiddles. OG.
Really? That's your favorite skin? I love the Birthday Party. Like, I loved Fish's call the other day with the Happy Birthday. Can't say that this game.
Technically, my favorite fiddle skin is Fiddle Me Timbers.
That's true. It's a pun on legs. Alright, Invictus Gaming going to be starting on the top side of the map right here. It's going to be Duke and Ning starting this one up. Just going to be taking a look at the keystones as well. We're going to have Pyke bring the Aftershock to the table. Very easy to access with his Bone Skewer. And the Fiddlestick's going to be doing the same, of course, with his Terrify.
And we can talk a bit about Pyke, especially as our observer is looking down bottom. Now, the thing about Pyke is, again, I consider him a win-more champion, but he's not someone who will save a lane phases, especially partly because his level 1 is actually fairly weak. He basically has his Tug. It's still not quite as devastating as someone like Thresh with his death sentence. Is a little bit better alongside someone like Lucian, but I played Pyke pretty repeatedly with Rusty, and the idea is okay, you need to wait for me to have abilities. We need to step forward. Like, the communication has to be on point because he's not a guy who creates zone for his ADC. He's a guy who just enforces the zone. So you have like your Leonas and your Alistars, and they step forward in the lane. They're just like, step 2, I dare you. And then it's the ADC that enforces that zone. Pyke, it's almost the opposite. It works in tandem. With Lucian and Pyke, they both have to go forward at the same time because if they're ever misaligned, you just turn and blow Pyke up.
Yeah, the Bash Brothers, and it's got to be like that, both reading from the same page. Well, we'll look out for it in this laning phase as we get to see the early pathing out from the junglers. And Ning is moving to the bottom side of the map. The early crowd control came out from Invictus Gaming as well. And Hacker's going to move towards his blue buff on the top side. Now, taking a look at Duke versus Xiao Ao, we can see a small insight into the runes here. Precision, of course, going... hang on, the numbers don't add up, Mason. Duke's running Conqueror on one side and running Press the Attack on the graphic.
He's that good. He gets both.
Oh, no, I'm an idiot. That's the precision tree. I'm done. So yeah, running Conqueror on this one, also with the Triumph in the top lane and the extra attack speed.
I wasn't going to bust you. But I did make direct eye
yeah,
contact.
I know you did. Yeah,
cringed.
I was just like, and that means I did something wrong.
We got there, Pulse. It's okay.
I'm tired, dude.
Good
All right.
work.
Okay, back into this bottom lane. We're getting this push out from Balan and Jackie Love. And shove them back towards the tower. See how much CS they can deny to fight and dance into the mid lane. Here
Surprise!
comes in for the counter gank. Of Fen just pushing forward, just saying, hello, I'm here, just keep in mind before you all in my mid laner.
And that was the equivalent of the Olaf stepping out of the bush, throwing an axe, missing, and just turning around and walking away. The Nocturne special though this time around.
And again, just bringing this one together, the slight advances to Jackie and Baolan is tangible. It is down there in the bottom lane, but Fury just trying to farm up on this Vladimir. And of course, Fiddlesticks trying to get to level 6, you know, to the point where he could really start to affect these skirmishes. And that is what you can really do to a bottom lane with the nice RNG bounces there onto Jackie.
I mean, the thing is Fiddles was a great pick into this, so hold on. We'll see if Hacker actually connects with his Q.
I mean, Rookie has to hard commit onto the top side of the lane, though he is out of mana, so there is a possibility, though Fen has to instantly land this Flawless Duet, and I don't think Hacker's feeling it.
It's also the fact that he's just covering for Fen being that far forward into the lane and suspects that Ning would be in the area, which he guessed right.
He's right on the money, and Rookie's going to take a hit. Ning, with the fast reaction though, throws out the Dustbringer, pokes down Fen, but Hacker, as you said, he's here just to push in the minion wave. Fen's like, not even going to risk it. You take the last 2 minions, I'm going to head back to base for my first recall.
That was the don't you ever talk to my son again.
Yeah.
Pops out the bush.
Almost from both sides, you know, Ning came out there as well.
So speaking again back towards the Fiddlesticks point, I love it as a pick ends a pike, and again this is why we really haven't seen a lot of priority, because Fiddles is just going to come into this lane and he's going to push early with his Crow and just be super obnoxious, and it's going to buy enough time to bridge Vladimir to get enough points to where then he's just going to push. And at some point, even though Lucian is a great skirmisher and has a lot of kill threat in this lane, especially alongside Pyke, if Yoon and Fury are playing it correctly,
where are you going to dodge?
Walking backwards, then there should never be a point where they die. They'll just wait until they have superior wave control and just constantly manipulate where the wave's going to be, either keeping themselves safe or shoving it in, creating opportunities for Hacker or vice versa.
Yeah, and then it says, like, really, when does the Pyke pick start to pay off? Like, of course it's going to be great into that Mundo, you know, execute him before he can get his health back.
It's Baolan. What I would love is that if he took an early back and then ran from spawn to mid lane, and then capitalize on the consistent hard CC into a Q. That's what I would like to see from Pyke.
And also it's Baolan, so there's a very high possibility of that happening. We know his propensity to go towards the mid lane. Nice little combo there from Fen, but as you can see, because we are pre-Sheen from the Aurelia, Rookie's still got a bit of bite to his bark in the mid lane, so he's still able to trade blow for blow. Again, just looking at this bottom lane, gradually over time, just got to reiterate the fact that Jakov is getting ahead in terms of farm. A Hacker in his way to the enemy jungle, places down an aggressive control ward, and Ning also farming towards 6. Should have it very shortly and look for his first gank. And again, pre-Sheen, and we're looking towards this mid lane as a possibility.
Yeah, and then once Aurelia has level 6 and Sheen, so Fen not getting any sort of gold to have the early back, although his lane wasn't terribly impacted. That's when things turn really dicey. So it was about how Rookie was going to play pre-Sheen and how he'll play post-Sheen.
And off of this red buff, it should be level 6 here from Ning. Yeah, he's literally just a minion away, so we've got the chance to come in, plus is the red buff for us.
There's now also a question if Fen even goes for the Sheen. Sometimes if Aurelias feel that, hold on.
He's Vladimir, he's okay, but he's just chunk below half, and he doesn't have access to the minions, so he can't get health back off of this second charge of the Q.
And it's perfect because it bought me enough time for Fen to go back and finish my point for me. Sometimes if Aurelias feel that they don't have the kill pressure, especially against someone like a Nocturne who's already going to be level 6, so they don't want to try to go for the all-in with the Sheen and dive that deep down the lane. They go for the Phage.
When in doubt, Phage. That was a very funny interaction. Hacker was like, could burn flash, could just run and sprint towards my enemy. Fury, don't do that. Fury was definitely kiting back in towards the culling. So now he's going to have to back away. He can't even step up to get his health back with his transfusion, because if he does, he dies. Yeah,
he can't put himself in vision at all, because he knows that the Nocturne is level 6. They just had vision on it because Hacker got, you know, the ring around the roses with the dragon. And so he immediately has to just completely disengage like 2 towers deep. Has the TP, is going to get back into the lane, so not losing too much, but by too much I mean about 30 CS.
Yeah, it's really hurting down in the bottom lane, and the same story is in the mid lane, but what we actually can't say is the story in the top lane. And to be fair, it's because of a lack of knowledge where the enemy junglers are. I mean, pretty much everyone has just ignored the top lane's existence, but this is not a Darius ahead of a Mundo right now, so it is a little bit concerning, and now the initial buy has come back from Mundo as well, so he's pretty much golden.
And it's again, you know, do you want to try to go for that kill pressure or make the most of your trades? Are you just buying your time because you understand that, hey, I've got a responsibility. I'm just going to take the free farm it up. I'll see you in a side lane, or I'll see you in the team fight. 50 minutes. It's about a team.
Now, I'm wondering what this dagger means here for Duke, because I'm thinking he might actually go towards a Triforce build here, as Ning is setting up the Paranoia, moves into the top lane. Instant ultimate coming out from the Mundo. Great use of the stopwatch, doubling down on the sadism. Here comes Hacker to turn this into a 2 versus 2. Ning is low. He's getting chased down by the Berserker. It's a 1-for-1. Plus the teleport going to be cancelled by Su Ning. And Duke, he's feeling it. He's got the flash. Doesn't commit to this one. Didn't have the ultimate on reset.
And he also recognizes that Hacker also has his flash, so wants to retain that, because then he has even more kill pressure on Xiao Al. And so we talk about it, you know, just because Duke didn't have a massive advantage in a matchup which normally is favored towards Darius didn't mean that there weren't ulterior motives. So allowing the wave to get stacked in, pushed into him, just biding his time, knowing that his jungler wants to cash in on some of this matchup action. But good play from Xiao with the stopwatch, like you were saying, to buy enough time to get health back on his ultimate and make sure that there was a 1-for-1 trade, which best case scenario.
It really was, giving time to react. And the teleport was even cancelled. I believe that one came in from Fury, just judging by the timers right there. So even managed to conserve that one, and well, Defiant dance over the wall for the blue buff take there from Fen, moving back into this mid lane. Now, you're right, he is moving towards the Phage, so it's going to be less kill threat in the mid lane, but Rookie's going to take this opportunity to start kiting towards the bottom lane, or start moving towards this bottom lane.
He took Scuttlecraft.
He did take Scuttlecraft, that's what I was just about to say.
That is a criminal offense.
Only if Ning sees.
Yoon!
Oh, caught out, caught in the spectral undertow right there as Baolan backs away. That could have been a lot worse, but Baolan actually on the receiving end.
And that's what I was talking about. When Pyke moves on his own, it's not that threatening. He's not actually that scary. Again, win more style of champion. He's the cleanup, the janitor. JackeyLove doesn't have access to his ultimate. So, yeah, they managed to catch out Yoon, but I don't really know what Baolan was thinking was going to happen there. JackeyLove just kind of looked at him like, mate, I'm farming.
Yeah, I guess I'll just run at you if I'm Suning, right? Meanwhile, on the top side, speaking of Suning, they are actually going to start off the Rift Tower right here, and there is priority actually coming in from Xiao out through the top lane, and actually from Irelia as well. But I believe Invictus Gaming have a beat on this situation, because Ning is moving towards this bottom lane.
They just want to force this tower. They want the objective down. They want to unlock this bottom lane.
No minion wave, and actually this fizzles. Rookie's going to be caught in rotation here by Fen, but he's not feeding it. He hasn't backed in a long time. This is still just the components of the Fade, so he's not going to commit to it. And also he knows that Ning is hovering around the area. This
is very interesting that IG didn't choose to trade anything for this. So the fact that they had TP available on JackeyLove, why not even go for the Dragon? Because I understand that, okay, you know, I don't want to try to take the Dragon right now. The back is more important to me. But if I have TP, I could just grab my back and the Dragon too, because we know that they took Rift Herald.
Yeah. So, curious movements coming out right now as Hacker just catches the criminal in the act, red-handed, but he's already out the door, out the window. So, Ning's going to say, see you later, mate. I'm going to move towards the bottom side of the map. We just know each other are in the area right now, as JackeyLove is going to be enough for him to take down the bottom lane tower all by his lonesome, get all of that gold over to himself. And it's going to be first tower of the game to Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, and ultimately it pays off. They get the back, they get the TP, they get the tower, and the Dragon too. So, IG just playing it cautious, slow, not forcing anything.
Had their cake and ate it too. Yeah. 50 farm almost advances in the bottom lane. That is absolutely gigantic. I mean, look at the item difference right now. I mean, Fury's just gone back and he's on components. He has boots, a ruby crystal, Nomad's medallion, and like some consumables plus a Duran shield versus a full Blade of the Ruin King from JackeyLove.
That is the American college lifestyle right now. That is like some macaroni and cheese,
cup noodle,
and you cut up some hot dogs because you got to get fancy. You've eaten this for 3 months straight. You got to change it up. Put some hot sauce in there, maybe some ketchup.
Combine it with the ketchup, yeah. Yep.
Delicacy.
And now he's just picked up the Iron Boots of Fervor as well. So yeah, it's definitely just calling it scraps right now if your name is Fury. On the opposite side though, JackeyLove maybe gunning towards the potential Black Cleaver build on top of that, looking to really double down on the fact that Invictus Gaming, and he knows it, are ahead in this game and trying actually to punch hard in this mid game and really start to solidify a potential win here. Stop Suning from ever finding that set play, ever getting ahead in the early game and smothering them out of this game.
And then the issue is the itemization and the break points for Suning. You know, you have to think of where are their windows to actually make some sort of counterplay, and it is on important buys like the Trinity Force. But if you look across their items, no one has a completed item. Invictus Gaming are at a huge advantage right now, and frankly, could just move to wherever they want on the map and try to force fights or take objectives for free.
Now, the one caveat to that is the fact that Hacker does have this Rift Tower currently, and now it's about 50% on its capacity on about to time out. So it's like, where is this going to go? Are you going to throw it in top lane, mid lane, bot lane? Probably going to be reliant on a potential fight and a skirmish going well. And judging by the fact that JackeyLove is running down Fury in the top lane at 1 versus 1, that's going to be a few and far to come by, or hard to come by for Suning Gaming. Right here as Baolan finds the Bone Skewer onto Yoon. They have the Blast Cone as an escape route, but this is all set up.
Yoon can't be here. Again, Nocturne's going to immediately ult him if he shows into vision. Level 7 to level 9, he'd instantly die. So, IG, I actually think that they should have forced that tower right there. This is 3 times now in a row where, again, Invictus Gaming ultimately make the right play, and they do get what they want. But to me, I just feel it's so slow. It's not as bloodthirsty or as aggressive as we normally see for Invictus Gaming, how they made their stance. And to me, that reads as kind of suboptimal. But I'm just used to the LPL playstyle where it's fast and furious and bloody, and this looks like a completely different team to me.
It's skittish, that is for certain. I mean, part of that's from Suning as well, as FenFen just gets chunked in half. Because they are literally our Fast and Furious team. Hell, they have a name, they have a player called Fury. Like, this is the team, and they've also been slowed down. But part of that is from Invictus Gaming. Now, then it comes down to scaling. It's just like, who's going to do better into the mid-game, to the late game, these later fights? Because I feel it in my bones that this is going to be a longer game than we're used to.
Can still see them poking around, however, looking for some plays. You asked what was going to happen with the Rift Herald. Looks like it's going to be a responsive defensive Herald. Yeah. Just Shelly's going to go for a walk.
Yep. Going to have a nice wander through the forest. I've seen Shelly troll some teams, man. If you place it in the jungle, I've seen people like drop in the top lane. Yeah, and then she's just like, I don't know where to go, and then walks mid lane. You're like, are you serious right now? But Shelly's going to make her way to the mid lane and look for the charge. It's going to be stopped here by Rookie. Yoon. But Baolan in rotation. Instant jump away there by Baolan. And he's back to Jackie Love. Really nice reactions coming in from the Pyke player. Yeah, not even forced to use the flash there, of course, using the jump itself. And where'd Shelly go? Guess what? She's dead. Rest in peace. We'll see you next game. But Invictus Gaming flash forward in from Yoon, going to double down onto Rookie. He flashes away, finds FenFen, locked in place. He also flashed away as well. And now we're firing down covering fire from Jackie Love. Everyone backs away. And finally, Invictus Gaming starting to find some of that bite, forcing these plays. Again, they have big power spikes right now. They should be able to take what they want on the map. And I don't know if I agree with funneling 5-man into 5-man over a mid tower. ARAM's not really how I would break this one down. Play a side lane. What are you doing? We're on Butcher's Bridge, man. We're just like, let's go. Let's fight. Let's push it back and forth. Like, look at Suning's composition. You have Vladimir and Fiddlesticks and Aurelia and Mundo. Like, they want to be grouped up. It's pretty clear what that composition is going to do. Yeah. Lay the Hammer Plague out, run around. And even though they are just now getting some item breakpoints in terms of like the Trinity Force, the Hemoplague's still going to do a lot of work there. So why would IG look at this and be like, we basically have item advantages and power advantages in every single lane. I know what we'll do. We'll make the best possible scenario for Suning, and we'll try to force it. Yeah. That's all sarcasm, by the way. No, I got that. Sometimes maybe you need to do the /S just at the end there, Frost. But, no, I got you. This is what I wanted from the beginning. Thank you. There it is. Paranoia coming in. Teleport down onto the tower. Might be enough to dissuade. Vanguard's edge coming through, though. Double disarm of Baolan and Jackie Love. But FenFen not choosing to go in on this as Xiao Ao leading the charge. You got the TP. You got what you came for. Quickly rotate it mid lane and just start throwing these creep waves into the towers. Do not let Suning sit back and get valuable gold onto their carries. Take the momentum. You have the ball, Invictus Gaming. Go for the dunk. Go for the layup. Go for anything right now. I mean, that was a potential play right there. And again, you said they took the TP. What can they do from it from here? We're 17 minutes into the game. Baron's going to be spawning in a couple minutes. A fatal mistake in the next couple minutes could cost more. Baolan, once again, potentially being caught out. But there's the Spectre Undertow once again. Jumps away. And like a phantom, escapes. But Jackie now under attack. Instant flash away. Leading the charge with the Berserker. And we've got the life drain coming in. Unfortunately, I mean, Jackie just going to die underneath his tower because no one's here to help. Where's the reaction from Invictus Gaming? Well, they're going to get something for their efforts right now. It will be the mid-tier tower. Still very important. But it feels like Suning are playing how IG should. They're constantly looking for plays. They're trying to force things. I will say that Baolan has lost a lot of control over the river. You can see 2 control wards as well as then 3 normal wards stacked up there. So creating that runway that allowed Suning to make that play. And it's because Baolan's just, I mean, he's gotten away from a couple of ganks, but that's also Baolan walking through, not placing vision, not moving with Ning, not acquiring information. Yeah. It's this imperfect information that I guess Invictus Gaming, it's causing them to be too cautious. Any type of momentum that they had is very quickly slipping away. But now I'm also looking at the double mountains that have been picked up here for us by Invictus Gaming, which means that if they do find one play, that can potentially lead into a very quick Baron. You know, suddenly Baron Rush has become a possibility. Jackie Love's gone for the Blade of the Ruin King. You have Shred on the target. So Invictus Gaming, it opens up more avenues for them to play around. But you're right, so far we haven't really seen it. And despite Invictus Gaming being ahead in terms of gold, I look towards Suning and being like, you're right, they're more proactive right now. They're looking for more of these plays, and it feels like something eventually is going to break.
What's going to break is Yoon and Baolan. Baolan tried for the 3rd time this game to walk into this river. He's now used, I believe, the blast cone, or maybe he just flipped himself over into the back of the pit, but Yoon has caught him 3 times in that little corridor. And because Suning have been able to hold that top side river so well, it meant that Invictus Gaming have been running at this top lane tower for about 5 to 7 minutes now.
I mean, is it right to keep banging your head against the same objective, or should they change up the play?
No, that's called insanity. You have Nocturne and you have a Darius. You can also just try to make the assassination play, which is what IG are setting up right now, but this was a possibility for a very long time.
Slow to the play, and we're back to it. Ning, I think he's out of vision. I mean, no pings have gone down. Yeah, he absolutely is out of vision right now. So if Fen jumps forwards like that, Duke, if he finds the apprehend into the potential follow-up. Oh, I think he's just spotted him now.
No, this is perfect. Look at the ping. So the ping goes because they suspect that someone's rotating, and so immediately Invictus Gaming pull back and they say, okay, we don't have vision on Suning. And again, it's this idea. They are playing with imperfect information, and it is causing IG to be scared. And so they are missing windows. Like, naturally, we see everything, but the players, they assume that Suning are there, so they don't want to force these plays. And again, that's what's stalling out IG, who are normally a very quick hit-and-run style of team.
Wow, Ning is staying. He was actually recalling for a little bit and actually chose to stay. But Fenfen's coming down. Can he double down on this? Here comes the paranoia underneath the target. No minions to run to now, Fen. But it's going to be slow on this one. Double tap into the ultimate. Almost finds the kill into Ning, but the great stopwatch timing coming in from Ning. He will get the kill, but Suning pulling the trigger on Baron.
Duke has TP. Hold on.
Jump forwards, looking for the kill onto the AD carry right here. Light Drain comes forwards, and all the flashes to lock down the AD carry. Goodbye, Jackie Love.
The vision game is an absolute joke from IG right now. They decide to commit bottom, but they don't have the control over the Baron. Of course, Suning are going to make the play off of Fin's beautiful stall. Yes, he falls down, but it was enough to give them access over the pit. They're forced to face check. Jackie Love pays the price, and it's now a mid-tower down as they continue to storm up mid lane.
They are literally running it down mid, but they are bleeding out in the side lanes. Duke has taken the tower in the bottom. You've got Rookie in the top lane, a tower apiece, but this is going to be an inner mid lane tower. Baolan kept at bay, but now we're looking for Invictus Gaming to potentially stop the back towers. Recall's now coming in from the side laners.
And here's the thing, at this point in the game, you say there's no way that Invictus Gaming, like, it's understandable that they would lose vision control over that side of the river. Look at Suning's composition of their power at this point. But Invictus Gaming let it get to this point. They could have so easily snowballed this game out of control. They decided to go into an ARAM. They decided to not capitalize on any of these plays, not try to force things. They had the ball, and they just threw it away.
And part of me right there, seeing that teleport come out of J-Love, was just like, are you just going to gun it towards the Baron? Because he literally went from base just to farm the mid lane. I mean, fair, he's not going to be split pushing much in this game. When else are you going to use the TP? But again, being very skittish here for us.
He just wants to hard shove mid lane to give them access into the Baron pit, because IG have finally decided enough is enough. We need to get vision in this river. We have to play around this area because we are just getting destroyed by Hacker and Yoon.
Absolutely. Yoon again coming out with the bird is only going to hit one right here with a good sidestep from Balan, separating himself from the pack. Xiao Ao's going to reveal himself mid lane, and then just throwing out the Dustbringer, just tracking his opponents in this fog of war. Suning Gaming though, they have so much pick potential coming in. If someone walks into a dark alley and there happens to be a Fiddlesticks there with a pumpkin on his head, he's going to terrify them and they are going to die. It is difficult for them to walk into these areas, and Suning know it. They walk forward, they clear away the wards, and they are starving Invictus Gaming of vision right now. They're trying to find a mistake from their opponents. Baolan again with the dash over the wall.
And you can see the hesitation between Rookie. Just watch his positioning. He's thinking about cutting down the river. He wants to get with his team. He understands that Suning have seen him top lane, killing the banner of command creep. And so they're trying to force the engage. But thankfully, Invictus Gaming actually succeeding where Suning have failed previously in the series and disengage with their 4-man squad. But IG, they understand that they've lost control, and now they're slowly starting to set it back up by getting priority in their side lanes to open up the pivot points back towards the Baron. But it has just been it's been rather chaotic to watch. A lot of growing pains.
Yeah, for sure. And I can tell you right now, Frosk, I feel jittery as a caster watching this. Like, I would say I'm on the edge of my seat, but I'm standing up. Like, I'm ready for something to happen in the next couple seconds. It just takes a single spark to ignite what can be a massive team fight. Baron, of course, is going to be on the cards. You've got an Infernal Dragon coming up. It feels like you hear the kettle screaming and we're about to boil over. It's just when and where is it going to happen?
It feels like juggling to me, or like if you're watching someone try to hold all... Yes, the chainsaws are in the air. Hasn't come down yet on IG's arms. Still got time. Again, we're still hitting breakpoints, but where IG have, been strong and retained their strength, Suning have really caught back up. You've got a lot of different power spikes coming through. The death cap not quite just finished on the Vladimir, but very, very close. I mean, Aurelia's pretty massive right now at this point.
Yep. Likewise, Darius is actually ahead in terms of his build right now as well. He has the Triforce into the Sterex. There's two schools of thought, whether you go for the Triforce, as I'm just taking a look at Suning moving into the enemy jungle here.
Beating IG to the punch in terms of vision. And their composition, it's so important to have the vision control because of someone like the Fiddlesticks. And it's not really about the ultimate. To me, the ultimate is just a delivery point to get the silence of the fear.
Here comes Fiddlesticks over the wall, zones away IG, Bone Skewer right into the perfect timing. Duke on the front lines, finds the first kill. Here's the Nocturne into the back. He's kiting around. Duke leading the charge, flash forwards, places down the Rune Prison. We've got them under our sights and we're going to take it down. There's the dunk, the layup onto Fenpad. Is it close enough because Duke could low himself? Yes, he finds two, brings the dunk onto the third. He's going to tick down. Here comes Vladimir looking for a return kill. And Baolan escapes. 4-5 kills to Invictus Gaming and the ace.
And finally, they're moving towards the Baron. Invictus Gaming, it pays off. It's Suning that make the mistake. They fall into the bear trap and they're able to capitalize on it. Yes, congratulations to IG. You won the team fight. You got the Baron. It's going to be a huge swing of power if you can clean it up.
They're okay, they should be able to juggle the aggro here. Everyone calm down. There's the Baron going over, and that's what we wanted to see out of IG right there. Now a 6,000 gold advantage, Baron in the hand, a one-team fight.
But my issue is, and again, the only reason I'm being so critical is that this is Invictus Gaming. The kids' gloves are off. You need to consider this team as possible MSI contenders, because that's what they were supposed to be. Suning messed this up. The Fiddlesticks ult really doesn't hit anyone. There's not a lot of the CC that's going down on key targets, and IG just punished them for it. But that was Suning looking for the play and then fumbling.
And this is just Darius time right here. Duke preemptively uses his ultimate on Ola because he's like, I'm dead. Wait, I'm not dead. And then with the bleed out finds the final kill, and I cannot believe Baolan escapes by the skin of his teeth off the backside of that fight as well. But that was as clean as it gets from Invictus Gaming in that team fight execution.
But now it has just ballooned out of control from 42 to 48k. Now an advantage for Invictus Gaming. They've got the Baron, they've got the map.
And for the longest time, we were complimenting Suning Gaming. We were saying they're constantly making the aggressive plays, and for it to come down to a team fight like that, really just in terms of the execution, Yoon jumps over the wall right there, doesn't quite find the perfect ultimate, zones him away, but while they found the Infernal Dragon, it's, again, at what cost, right? And we can obviously see at too much.
And the quintessential kind of difference between LCK and LPL, and just a generalized format, is that the LCK played defensively. They wait for you to make a mistake, and then as soon as you do, they will punish and they will take everything. Yeah. It makes them so consistent and such a formidable force internationally. And the LPL, they force you to make mistakes. They play aggressively, and when you mess up, then they try to punish. Yeah. But it makes us inconsistent. It makes us volatile.
So you take hits while doing so.
And Invictus Gaming, I mean, it definitely wasn't clean like a Korean team, but it's much closer to that Korean mentality of kind of the defensive play, trying to catch the mistakes and capitalize, versus the IG that made themselves famous in Spring Split, that aggressive Lane Kingdom superstar squad. I
mean, it's like a coiled snake, right? Looking for the time to strike. And that was it, and it worked out in this game. But I know there are a lot of teams in the LPL, just like RNG, who will... They will ring them, they will take them to town.
Play.
Yeah, they will absolutely run over this current playstyle from Invictus Gaming. It's such a, as you said, detachment from what we've previously seen out of them. But for now, though, it is working.
But I have to start to question the confidence. We're the 51% region. If it's a 50-50, we believe that we have the 1% because we're better. And you have players like Jackie Love, Rookie, and Ning. So
star players.
I mean, you go back to from 40 and 11 to 4th place, and just Rookie head down on his desk, just completely a destroyed man. Are we still seeing that left over? Have they not found their confidence to make these plays, to be that aggressive team?
And if you're just tuning in, you're like, Pulse, Frosk, why are you being so down on Invictus Gaming? They're ahead in this game, 28 minutes, but dear viewer, 1-1. We're in game 3 on match point. This never should have been here in the first place. Invictus Gaming are the premier team out of the LPL, and it all fell apart at the end of Spring Split. So for now, it is still you can see it as a failure. But Invictus Gaming, if they take this win right here, it will be a good first step back to redemption.
And I'm happy for Suning capitalizing on the mistakes, but again, this wasn't that, you know, Suning were just outplaying IG. They just capitalized when IG made mistakes. It's kind of the difference of, is a team playing better or is a team just playing worse?
Yeah.
And for the Invictus Gaming losses, it was just IG playing worse.
Rotation to the mid lane, not going to quite happen right there, but Suning are being picked apart right now. Invictus Gaming are playing this beautifully, honestly, moving from lane to lane, just picking apart these towers, chipping away at the objectives, pushing them down, and Suning Gaming are finding it very difficult to respond right now.
They're finding their momentum.
Yeah.
They've been here hundreds of times because their record is pretty ridiculous from spring, so they definitely know how to play with the lead. Hopefully. Hopefully.
But it's going well so far. They've broken many core structures. They've opened up the base. Top inhibitor can be forced now by Invictus Gaming. Bottom is already down. They want to wait for the future objectives. They can, but for now, good push out from Invictus Gaming, ballooning their advantage now to over 10,000 gold.
And then you turn the lens back on Suning Gaming. And the fact of the matter is that there is still actually a light at the end of this tunnel because of the nature of their composition and how late it's gotten into the game. And wow, it feels really dirty to say late when it's only 30 minutes.
It is late game, you can say it.
But that is the reality of the 8-11 patch.
Okay, let's take a breather, because it's definitely been an intense last 5 minutes or so.
It feels like it's a very stressful and intense game.
It is, for sure. I mean, of both sides, right? And you know, we hit Invictus Gaming hard, just like an Asian parent, to be honest, but it's because we care about you, Invictus Gaming.
I've been an IG fan for so long, and I keep getting heartbroken.
Mm-hmm.
It's
and especially, you know,
just an abusive relationship at this point.
And like when you have a team like Suning Gaming who are just on the upward swing right here, you know, you look towards upcoming stars like Xiao Ao, even like Fury and Fenfen. You know, if Fenfen expands champion pool, we see great stuff out of this squad. So at the end of the day, it's just, can you really cement yourself as the veterans here, IG?
Yeah, and we talked about this could possibly be the actual turning of the page for Suning from, you know, up-and-comers to established power.
Yeah, powerhouse team. That was anticlimactic. Hackman stood there, was like,
but very important.
It was, yeah. It dropped the backdoor protection, and they just crushed the mid lane tower.
Yep, the fortification no longer there, so good cross-map communication from Rookie and Jackie Love.
The dummy minion, I love it.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Yep, Invictus Gaming now looking towards the bigger objectives. June off to the side. Here comes the Paranoia, cutting that vision, and here we go. Onto the back line. Instantly goes down into the Guardian Angel, but Duke is on the front line, still cutting away. Backline again into perfect timing. And Xiao Ao coming in with the counter gank right here. Ning goes down. Baolan goes down. Rookie able to salvage the situation. 1 for 3, and Duke is kiting back. Suning, routing the offenders right now. The people on the offense, but Rookie finally coming in there with the overload for the kill. It's a 2 for 2 trade in the end, and Invictus Gaming is still knocking on the front door. Here comes Fury, again dragged into the team. No sanguine pool right now, and Duke will finish you off. Xiao Ao coming back to his Nexus and trying to escape. Flashes over the Nexus, but Rookie, he's saying no escape from me. Fen with the fancy feet, though, finds Jackie Love on the backside.
He may have actually saved the game. You can see that Rookie and Duke, they're trying to coordinate their spells together and kind of sidestep Aurelion.
He's in kill range. Where's the Force to it? Finds it, looking for the reset. The Q is on cooldown. Fen trying to kite away.
4 seconds.
Moves on to the minions, and it jumps in, finds one, moves on to Duke, looking for the finish. There it is, Fen pops off!
Oh my god! Woo! Okay, the one trick, he's got one champion that he's pretty damn good at, and it is Aurelia. This guy, 6 games previously before he got his hands onto it. Now it's a total of 8 because he's played it twice in this series, I believe. And worth it for that. That goes in the highlight reel.
Was beautiful coming out of Fen. Led everything correctly. I was frightened for a second when he missed that flawless duet, but followed it perfectly. He knew exactly how much damage his Blade Surge would do. And he just knew that he could duel the Darius at the end because he had Ionian Fervor. That was fantastic play.
But you have to think, Suning, they're an emotional team. Fen makes a defense like that. The wind is beneath their sails. They rocket out of base. They understand. Throw it all away. Like, we cannot sit in our base. We need to force plays. They're going for the Baron.
My god, Suning Gaming coming for the comeback. Potentially, he is going to be on this Baron. Ning over the wall. He has the Paranoia, looking to jump into the Baron pit right now. Jumps in. Where's the spike coming down? It's going to go over to the Olaf, but Rookie, here's the end. Duke onto the Nexus. Invictus Gaming find the win.
Oh, Suning. Woo! That's really all that can be said.
Oh my god, Frost, what was that game? What was that series? Invictus Gaming pulled it out at the very last hurdle with the teleport, the clutch teleports coming in. I mean, you look at Invictus Gaming right now and they're not happy with how that went down. They took the win, but I mean, it was so messy.
If I'm the IG coach, the belt is definitely coming off. That said, I have to talk about Suning first. Said the word emotional, gonna follow up on that. They are blinded by their greenness. Again, very young team. They got the massive hole. They're like, no, do the Baron. They're not keeping track of the teleport timers. They're not keeping track of the fact that Duke is going to be back up. It looks like such an obvious play, but when all you hear in the comms is Baron, 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 you're just going to run towards the objective. So that's what we're saying. It's about the experience. But I like the bloodlust because you can't teach that. That heart, that fire, that's either there or it's not. And Suning have it. Now they just need to rein it in and figure out how to master it.
It's just full Braveheart, honestly, looking at how they played that one out.
Full Cloud.
Multiple times over that series, we saw Suning make these just hard decisions on the spot. Everyone was behind the play coming in from them. And oh my god, I'm still reading off of that Irelia play, man. Like, that's what gets me going. Fen completely demolishing 3 members of Invictus Gaming right there in the defense. Oh, look at that gold graph.
But that's the thing. Look at the gold graph. The game should not have gone like that. Invictus Gaming, they could have been so much more powerful. I feel like they're going to look back at this game and be like, okay, the Pyke pick, probably not great for us. It really hurt our vision. They were unable to walk into the top side of the river. It stalled them out a lot. It meant that they were playing with imperfect information, and they didn't want to go for the play. So it's hard for me because I love the old IG. Yeah. I love the bloodthirst, but I understand. If you don't know where everyone is, you don't want to risk it. It's game 3, play it slow, and at the end of the day, you did get the victory. But it's not in the flash that I like. I'm an LPL caster through and through. I want to see the bloodlust. I want to see the Invictus Gaming return to power, and that was like C tier IG. I'm waiting for S.
Frosk, I am all out of words, so I'm going to send it right over to Alistair. Take it away, guys, and to close out the day.
Is that duct tape? Did Pulse just have duct tape in his head?
That's how he tapes up his hair. That's actually what it works.
Okay.
It works like
so
that.
his roll was low, which is why his hair is no longer silver right now. Maybe.
I
don't know.
Yeah,
we'll have to ask him about this once the cast is all done. But let's actually break down what we saw here, because we got to get into the picks and bans for this.
Okay.
Frost was furious over the course of the game, but let's actually break into what IG did right, and before we get into a little bit about what they did wrong.
I want to defend IG a little bit. I think there's a reason they played super slow.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason is this, because if you have that ban pick, there's actually really no way you lose in the late game.
Yeah.
It's actually really hard to lose in the late game. Like, no, this is what happens. Suning ran a full bruiser composition. They wanted to go in on the enemy team comp. You know, everything's looking good. You got the Olaf rushing in. You got the Irelia. You got the Vlad. And then you realize you don't have any engage.
Yeah.
So if you look at that
we'll
entire
slow them with
game,
the Mundo or the Olaf.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's it.
That was a 30-minute game. Suning never managed a single engage.
Yeah.
So I think they really missed the mark with the Fiddlesticks right there, and that really caused the game to kind of snowball entirely in Invictus Gaming's favor. Again, Fin's champion pool is very predictable. Rookie did have the counter to that, and also I feel like they took the Mundo a little bit too early. That should have been an Ornn pick, and this composition would have been fine. And we've seen Duke on the Darius as well, so a very easy counter him for him. IG controlled both the lanes early on, and the bot lane we have to talk about, because the bot lane should not have gone as bad as it went, but
yeah, we'll get a chance to talk about that in just a little bit. We actually want to take a look at the fight that broke open the game for Invictus Gaming. Yes, it was stalled. We all saw it. We all agree. But let's get into the fight that finally allowed it. Suning start things off with Yoon going in, but IG just find that door in.
Yeah,
Duke just starts sweeping people.
Yoon just went in a little bit early, and the next thing that happens in this fight, you can see how the Pyke, just with his camouflage ability, is able to zone out 2 members of Suning Gaming. So while Fin is in there by himself trying to make the hero plays happen, Fury actually didn't do much in that fight at all. Goes back, in the end, knows he can't run away, and that gives over the Baron to IG. So that was a massive play that finally broke open the game, but you can see kind of the problems with the composition right there. They can't get the fights they actually want. There was never a fight, a 5v5 team fight, where they were all in onto the Jackie Love on Lucian, where they could finish him off, and that's what the Bruiser composition wants to do.
There was that one pick at the Baron that Suning was able to find, but a pick is not a team fight. That doesn't equate anywhere near the same amount of gold or the net potential. Our MVP will go to Rookie in that game for his performance on that Rise. We saw him destroying people in that team fight at the Nexus. And of course, I'm sure that call to teleport back door with the Darius, I'm sure he had something to do with it.
If he finishes the back door, you have to give the man the MVP. That's the rule of League of Legends right there. I also want to harp on his creative play, getting the minion, realm warping it underneath the tower.
Yeah, just to get 3 autos.
Yeah, just to get the armor and magic resist off of that tower and instantly take it out. That was brilliant. I'm calling it the Rookie plus realm warp. I'm calling it the Wookiee.
The Wookiee.
Yeah.
The Whelm warp. Perhaps because you were only whelmed, but you weren't overwhelmed or underwhelmed. It was 1 minion. That said, our interview with Jackie Love is ready. We're going to get a chance to speak with him, and let's go ahead and hear what Jackie Love has to say about that matchup.
Oh, I have to ask. Oh, wait a minute.
这个夏天 ，IG 有太多东西需要证明，请大家拭目以待。